Hello, welcome to this 30-minute intermediate Vinyasa flow practice. We'll start on the knees today, and just taking them wide, allowing the big toes to touch before walking the hands all the way forwards, lowering the forehead down for a wide leg child's pose. And just seeing if you can sink the heart all the way down to the mat. Just drawing your attention inwards, allowing any noise that surrounds you to just fade into the distance, bringing yourself onto your mat. This 30-minute practice just for your mind and your body. Just start to notice the rhythm of your breath and seeing if you can lengthen every inhale and extend every exhale. And gently lifting the gaze up towards the hands will shift the weight forwards, coming up to find your all fours position, stacking the knees underneath the hips. We'll take an inhale, reaching the left arm up high, taking the gaze up with you, and exhale to thread the arm underneath the right, dropping the left cheek down and reaching the right arm up high as well, and resting the back of the palm onto the lower back, or maybe wrapping it around towards the left thigh. Just feeling deeply into the shoulders and a gentle twist in the spine as well. And releasing that right hand, planting it into the mat, lifting the left arm all the way back up high. And releasing the left hand back down to the mat. We'll extend the left leg away, finding one long line behind you, lifting in the core, lifting out of the shoulder blades, and reaching away with that right arm. We'll point the left toes up towards the sky and reaching back with the right hand, maybe holding here, or maybe catching the foot in the hand, and even kicking that foot into the hand to lift high in the chest for our curl. And when you're ready, reaching the arm and the leg away, keeping the leg lifted and releasing the right hand down to the mat. We'll draw the knee in towards the chest, maybe using the hands to guide the foot forwards, reaching the arms up high for our low lunge. And as you exhale, twisting, taking the left arm back, right arm forwards, and gazing over towards the left fingertips. Staying here, or option to drop the left hand onto the back thigh or even onto the calf, and finding a gentle back bend here. And windmilling the right hand down on the left, tucking the back toes, lifting in the back knee, and stepping all the way back to downward facing dog. And when you're ready, softly lowering the knees down towards the mat, untucking the toes and adjusting the hands so they're underneath the shoulders. We'll take an inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze up high, and an exhale to round through the spine, taking the chin to the chest. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze for our cow, and exhale, rounding through the spine for our cat. Just enjoying another round like this, following your own breath. And then coming back to find a neutral spine. We'll take an inhale, reaching the right arm up high this time, taking the gaze up with you. And exhale, threading the right arm underneath the left, dropping the right cheek down to the mat. You can stay here, or maybe lifting the left arm up high and taking the back of the left palm onto the lower back. Or maybe even wrapping it around the right thigh. Holding for one more round of breath. And then releasing that left hand back down to the mat, reaching that right arm all the way back up high, and taking the right hand back down to the mat for your all fours position. We'll extend the right leg away, flexing the toes down to the mat, lifting in the core, lifting in the shoulders, before reaching away with the left arm, finding one long line. Taking a moment to pause, and then pointing the right toes up to the sky, reaching back with the left arm, maybe catching the foot in the hand, and even kicking the foot into the hand to take that gentle arch in the spine. When you're ready, releasing the arm and the foot away, keeping the right leg lifted, releasing the hand down to the mat. Drawing the right knee in towards the chest, planting the foot down between the hands, and taking an inhale, reaching both arms up high, biceps to the ears for our low lunge, and then taking the left arm forwards, right arm back for our low lunge twist, maybe even gazing over towards that right hand. And if you want to find a gentle back bend, taking the right hand onto the back thigh or the calf, reaching slightly back. Taking one more inhale. And exhale, windmilling the left hand down, then the right, tucking the back toes, lifting in the back knee, stepping all the way back to your downward facing dog. Maybe finding some gentle movement here, bending one knee then the other if that feels good. Or maybe just finding stillness. Or inhale to reach the right leg up high for three-legged dog. And just bending that right knee, opening in the hips so you're stacking one hip on top of the other. And just allowing the foot to feel heavier as you flip all the way over, releasing the right hand above your head for your wild thing. And gently lowering the hips all the way down to sitting, we'll take an inhale. Exhale, pressing all the way back up to wild thing. And taking the gaze down, releasing the right hand back to the mat, and coming all the way back to your three-legged dog. We'll draw the right knee in towards the chest, taking it over towards the left elbow, threading the leg through, and releasing the left arm all the way up towards the sky. And slowly sinking the hips down, coming to a wide leg seated position, releasing the arms, taking them forwards to fold all the way over the legs. Feeling a deep stretch into the inner thighs and the hips. Just using each exhale to help you deepen into the stretch. And slowly walk the hands in towards you, lifting in the spine. And picking up the left leg, guiding it to meet the right, flexing the toes in towards you, thighs touching together. We inhale, lifting up in the spine and the arms, and exhale, folding over the legs, drawing the forehead down towards the shins. We'll take the right hand over towards the left toes, picking up the left leg and reaching back with the right arm for a twist. And guiding that left foot over the right leg for our half Lord of the Fish pose, taking the right elbow on the outside of the left thigh, the left fingertips behind, gazing over the left shoulder. Staying exactly as you are and just releasing the spine back to center, and just tucking in the right leg, taking the hands to over towards the front of the mat, pressing into that left foot and the hands to step back with the right leg then the left, coming back to find your plank. And lowering the body down for chaturanga, we inhale for up dog or cobra. And exhale, releasing all the way back for your downward facing dog, taking 2 deep breaths to settle. We'll inhale, lifting the left leg up high for three-legged dog, stacking the left hip on top of the right before bending in the knee, feeling an opening in the hips, and just allowing that left foot to feel heavier and heavier, releasing the foot back as you release the left arm up high for our wild thing, and slowly lowering the hips all the way down to sitting on the mat. We'll take an inhale, and exhale, reaching all the way back up high for your wild thing. And gently dropping the gaze down towards the right hand. And standing into the right foot. Taking both hands onto the mat as you release back for your three-legged dog. We'll draw the left knee over towards the right elbow, threading the leg through for our fallen triangle. Releasing the left arm up high towards the sky. And slowly sinking the hips down, coming to sitting in a wide leg position, walking the hands forwards and coming to fold all the way over. Enjoying the deep stretch in the inner thighs and the hips. And when you're ready, walking the hands in towards you to come up to sitting. Picking up the right leg, guiding it over to meet the left, flexing the toes. Taking an inhale to reach up high with the arms. And exhale to take a forward fold. And taking the right hand onto the left toes. Picking up the left leg, pressing the sole of the foot into the palm. Before reaching back with the left arm, taking the gaze back with you for a twist. And then guiding that left foot over the right leg, wrapping the right arm around the left thigh, taking the left fingertips behind you, gazing over that left shoulder for a half Lord of the Fish pose. Releasing the spine back to center and just tucking that right leg in. Taking the hands over towards the top of the mat, pressing into that left foot to step back right, then left. Lowering the body down for chaturanga. We inhale for up dog or cobra. And exhale, lifting hips high, downward facing dog. Taking some deep breaths here. Inhale, reaching the right leg up high for three-legged dog. And exhale, drawing the right knee in towards the chest, planting the foot down between the hands, pivoting the back foot down to 45 degrees and windmilling the left arm open, then the right, opening the arms wide for our warrior two. Releasing the hands to interlace behind the lower back, pulling the hands down as you lift high in the chest for an inhale. And exhale, bowing all the way down, allowing the hands to fall overhead, the gaze to come all the way down, the right shoulder falling towards the right knee for our humble warrior. Allowing the hands to pull back down towards the lower back as you lift the chest all the way back up high, releasing the arms wide for your warrior two. We'll flip both palms up to the sky, taking an inhale, flying the warrior high as you straighten both legs, keeping the hands in prayer as you turn the left toes to the diagonal corner and sinking back into that left leg for a side lunge position, our Skandasana. Seeing if you can keep the weight low as you shift the weight forwards all the way over to the other side. Taking this one last time, staying low, can you shift the weight all the way back to that left Skandasana? And thinking of splashing water with the left hand as you shift the weight forwards, sweeping the hand across the mat as you pivot all the way up to your high lunge, reaching the arms up high, biceps to the ears, and releasing the hands down to frame the front foot, stepping back. For a one leg chaturanga, hovering that right leg up high in your plank, lowering the body down, releasing the foot, releasing the leg, lifting in the chest for your upward facing dog, and exhale, releasing all the way back, downward facing dog. Finding some deep breaths here just to settle. We'll take an inhale, reaching the left leg up high this time for three-legged dog. And exhale, drawing the knee in towards the chest, planting the foot down between the hands, pivoting on the back foot, and releasing the right arm, then the left for your warrior two. I missed the humble warrior here on this second side, so feel free just to take this for a moment. By interlacing the fingers behind the lower back, lifting high in the chest. And bowing all the way down, dropping the left shoulder towards the left thigh. Just holding here for a moment. And then releasing the hands towards the lower back, lifting the chest all the way back up high, releasing the arms wide. We'll meet here in our warrior two. We'll take an inhale, reaching the arms all the way up to the sky, palms touch in prayer, both legs straightening, turning the right toes out towards the diagonal of the mat, and sinking all the way down to our Skandasana, our side lunge. And maybe you're just holding halfway down today. Wherever you are, we'll shift the weight over towards the left side, keeping the weight as low as you can for our Skandasana towards the front of the mat. Taking an inhale and exhale, shifting all the way back to your Skandasana on the right side, taking the right hand and sweeping the hand across the mat as you shift the weight forwards, turning all the way back to our high lunge, and releasing the hands down to frame the front foot, stepping back with the left leg to take it into a one-leg plank before taking your chaturanga, releasing the foot as you lift the chest for upward facing dog, and exhale, coming all the way back to downward facing dog. We'll softly lower the knees down to the mat, sinking the hips back towards the heels and reaching the arms away for just a moment in child's pose. We'll come to find our headstand today. So when you're ready, just lifting the gaze, shifting the weight slightly forwards, coming up onto the elbows, and just interlacing the hands together, taking the forehead down so the hands just rest on the back of the head. Just coming up high onto the toes and just take a little step forwards with the feet and just rocking gently forwards and backwards, just feeling the weight of the hips coming over the shoulders and seeing how that feels for you. And if this feels good, maybe picking up one knee then the other, just experimenting with drawing the heels in towards the glutes, just finding a gentle moment of balance, hips stacking over the shoulders, coming down whenever feels good for you. Or maybe you just come back to a child's pose now. If you'd like to take a full headstand with me, coming back, interlacing the fingers, releasing the head onto the mat, allowing the hands to come to the back of the head for that support. Maybe you're still playing with the one knee in towards the chest and the other. Maybe you want to extend one leg up high, maybe both for one long line. Really thinking of engaging in the core here still. And when you're ready, releasing one knee back in towards the chest and the other. Releasing one foot down to the mat and then the other, seeing if you can do this in the most controlled way you can before releasing back to sit on the knees. Just take a moment to allow the bloods in the head to settle. We'll come up to kneeling, allowing the knees to be underneath the hips and just tucking the toes. We'll take the hands to heart center in prayer, Gently leaning back, keeping the gaze forwards, releasing the right hand onto the right ankle. Maybe the left hand also onto the left ankle. Keeping the gaze here, or maybe taking the gaze all the way back now as you press the hips forwards. And when you're ready to come out, releasing the left hand back towards the chest, and then the right, or maybe using the hands on the lower back, taking the chin towards the chest, and releasing the spine all the way back up to kneeling, and sinking the hips down to the heels, coming to find your restorative child's pose, so taking the arms back, lowering the forehead down, allowing the body to wrap around the thighs. When you're ready, rolling up through the spine to come up to sitting, taking the hands out in front of you for an all fours position. We'll guide the right knee forwards towards the right wrist, creating a backwards 7 with that front leg before extending the left leg away for your pigeon pose. Taking a moment high on the fingertips. Maybe you want to fold down to the elbows or even reaching both arms away. Finding where you want to hold for a few rounds of breath. Feel free to stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. Or if you'd like to join me, walking the hands up towards you to lift in the spine, coming back up to the fingertips, pointing the left toes up towards the sky, reaching back with the left arm to catch the foot into the hand, holding here, or maybe the foot comes towards the elbow crease, and seeing if you can reach that right arm forwards. Maybe you just hold this position here, or maybe releasing the right elbow towards the head, interlacing the fingers for our mermaid. Just releasing your mermaid if you're here. We'll all meet up high in our pigeon pose before sitting back onto our right hip, swinging the left leg around, stacking the left knee on top of the right. Just holding here with this deep hip stretch, or maybe taking the right arm up high, releasing the left fingertips behind, seeing if you can catch the fingertips together or reaching them energetically towards each other, and maybe finding a forward fold over the knees if you want to increase the stretch in the hips. Wherever you are, just releasing everything back to center, gently uncrossing the knees, taking the hands out to the top of the mat, and walking yourself into your all fours position. We'll draw the left knee forwards towards left wrist, finding that backward 7, extending the right leg away, and finding your variation of pigeon where you want to hold for a few rounds of breath. If you want to find your mermaid with me on this side, walking the hands in towards you, lifting back up high in the chest for a sitting, and taking the right toes up towards the sky, catching the right hand and foot together, or maybe guiding the foot to the crease of the elbow, reaching up high with that left arm, or maybe even taking the right arm over the head, locking the fingers together for our mermaid. Gently releasing everything back towards your pigeon. We'll meet up here on the hands in our pigeon if you're not there already. And sitting back onto that left hip, swinging the right leg around so the right knee comes on top of the left. Just feeling a deep stretch into the hips here. Staying here, or maybe reaching up high with that left arm, taking the hand down towards the spine, and even the right hand back on the lower side. Energetically drawing the hands together, or maybe locking the fingertips. And maybe even finding a gentle fold over the legs to increase the stretch. And gently releasing the spine back to center, releasing one foot then the other to the top of the mat. Keeping the feet at hip distance apart, taking the hands behind the thighs as you roll all the way down to lying, wrapping the arms around the shins, giving them a gentle squeeze. We'll take the hands around the pinky edge side of the feet, drawing the knees in towards the armpits for our happy baby, maybe even rocking from side to side. And when you're ready, drawing the knees back together, wrapping the arms around the shins, giving them one last squeeze, taking a big inhale. Exhale, releasing everything down to the mat, releasing the legs out long, ankles gently rolling out, releasing the arms down beside you, palms facing up, and taking a moment just to close down the eyes, and just enjoying these moments of complete rest. These moments just to be, allowing any thoughts to just fade away into the distance. There's nothing left to do. Shavasana. And feel free to pause this video and just stay here in your Shavasana for as long as feels good. If you're coming out with me today, just keeping the eyes closed and just rolling over onto one side, taking a moment to pause in this fetus position. And taking your time guiding yourself up to a comfortable seat, releasing the hands to prayer at heart center. The light in me sees, loves, and honors the light in you. Namaste.